All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 482 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and today we're going to talk about the Falcons once again. And I'm basically just going to sit here and try to ponder how the Atlanta Falcons front office exceeded expectations. Because at the end of the day, it starts with the front office. Terry Fontenot, you got Arthur Smith, and everybody under that umbrella putting the team together to get where they are. Right now, they're a game under 500. And if you really look at these games, they should have been over 500, but that's another story for another day. I don't necessarily want to get into the games that have happened so far. I want to talk about how they exceeded expectations and can they actually take it further, even with Kyle Pitts being out. I want to talk about all that, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I want to thank you guys for all the support that you guys have been giving on the show lately, especially on the YouTube, not on YouTube, I'm sorry, especially on the podcast side of things. A lot of people have been listening on the podcast, whether it be Falcon stuff or Georgia Southern stuff, and I really appreciate that. I cannot thank you guys enough, and let's go ahead and continue. I'm actually impressed with what's going on, even though I don't like the play of Marcus Mariota. I've been on record saying that. But I am impressed with what this team has done overall. And, I don't give it enough credit, and that's on me. For them to be 5-6 and possibly should have been 8-3 is really a testament to what the front office have done. These guys have put together a pretty decent team, even with the quarterback play being what it is. I am actually, feel good about this team going forward, even with the injury to Kyle Pitts. I think the way they exceeded expectations, they basically got guys who wanted to play ball and guys who fit in the scheme. I talked about this very early in the season when I said all these guys on one-year deals with the salary cap going to be wide open next year for the Falcons. This is a good opportunity for a lot of players to get paid. It's a show me what you can do type of season for a lot of guys. But at the same time, the front office is still trying to win football games and go far in this season. I'm not necessarily against this philosophy because, this philosophy, it signs the team up. It sets the team up for a short playoff run. But it also brings in a winning culture that you want to win no matter who's out on the field. You guys work together and play hard together and play for one another as well as playing for yourself because the money's there. You want to get paid. Terry Fontenot and them is putting it out there. Hey, here's a one-year deal. You play for this team. You play for the guys that's next to you. You guys play tough. Get some talented guys as well and make something happen. This team is supposed to win 2 games this entire season. And lo and behold, if you look at what's going on with the next 6 games, this team can win about 9 games. I don't see where it's far-fetched that this team could go 500 for the rest of the season, even without Kyle Pitts. So now you're looking at a team that's above, not just slightly below 500 still at 8-9, which necessarily does better than what they did last year. It definitely does way better than what the experts said that was going to happen with this team. It's very fascinating when you look at this. Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith drafted very well. They got some guys together that want to play ball, knowing that the talent that this team has. They try to get this talent together and form something really, really nice. I mean, the guys that they put together are very talented, and they seem like they know how to build off one another to be better. It's really interesting to see how Evan Kente and Grady Jarrett play off one another, or how Rashaan Evans and Troy Anderson play off one another. Or you see how Richie Grant and A.J. Terrell or, D. Alford and all the other guys play off of one another. And they've been playing very well on defense, offensively. How complimentary it is to see, how, what's his name? Oh, goodness. Cordell Patterson and Tyler Algier, share carries and still have the same type of production and seem so unselfish. You already know how unselfish Cordell Patterson is, but it just shows you having that type of teammate and what it does for this team. It's just a really good situation. Not only on that, how well that Marcus Mariota has been a mentor, not only just to Desmond Ridder, but the other players that are under him. Now, we can talk all we want about the play of Mariota, but one thing you can't deny is this guy likability and his leadership. I give him a lot of credit for that, if anything. But it goes back to Arthur Smith putting guys in the position and putting the right guys around one another to play football and try to win some games. I'm actually impressed with the lack of, the lack of salary cap, the lack of, pickings, lack of, picks that you can find within free agency and find small gems here and there to make things happen with this team. And, Dean Pease gets some credit too. That play that they had, the play that they had against Chicago this past week was a masterful job defensively. And when you just look at everything, how everything is just playing out, I think that once Arthur Smith gets the team that he wants, because you got to understand it's still a work in progress. If he gets the team that he wants and put it together, this team could be a real big problem for everyone in the NFL. Even right now when I'm looking at this team, I still believe that this team is the best team in the NFC South. I still stand by that. Even with Kyle Pitts, out. And with Kyle Pitts being out, that is a setback. But you also have to understand the Falcons played football based off the run. So if this was a prolific passing team, like I said in my last episode, I would be kind of concerned. But now I know the offense is going to take a slightly step back, but I still feel that this team will be okay. And I know a lot of people may not believe that, but I think they'll be fine. So, it's just time for McCole Pruitt. It also means, to be honest, I would like to see Felipe Franks get more touches. I think Felipe Franks is underrated at tight end. I think he's actually pretty decent at tight end. Quarterback, not so much. But I think he's actually underrated at tight end, and I would like to see more of him being at tight end. And it's going to be really cool to see with him, McCole Pruitt, and I think they signed someone else at tight end. I think they brought somebody else in. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look at the wires of signings this past week so far, so I don't know. But when you look at what they have, it's going to be really interesting because McCole Pruitt is okay. So how much of a step do they really drop off? With that being said, they have 6 games left. And I'm looking at these 6 games, the Commanders, the Steelers. They're going up to Washington to play the Commanders. That's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a very tough game. But then you play the Steelers, the Saints, and the Ravens. I'm going to be honest with you. Those 3 games, the next 3 out of 4, you could possibly win 3 out of 4. I don't fear the Ravens as much as I fear the Commanders right now. The Commanders are hot. There's a hot team right now. The Steelers, I don't fear them at all. The Saints, it's time to get some get back on them. We should have beat them the first time, but you know how that goes. So I'm looking at the next 4 games. We win 3 out of 4. Man, now you're talking about 8-17? I don't want to look that far ahead, but just look at it. Just think about it. Then you got the Cardinals and the Buccaneers at the end of the season. These next 6 games, these guys could possibly go 6-4. I'm sorry, 6-4. Good God. They could probably go, these next 6 games, they could easily go, 4-2. It's not bad, but I think I'm leaning more of the time, leaning more of around the 3-3 mark. They end up finishing 8-9, and if they do beat the rest of their division opponents, they still will be in the running for the division title. It would be nice to be 9-8, but I'm not sure. Excuse me. But it is a really good thing to see this team actually, exceeding expectations. Kudos to Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot. And I think this is going to continue to do good things. Will they get better? Will the season keep going? I don't know. Like the loss of Kyle Pitts is a pretty big deal. Taquan Graham, I haven't talked about him enough. That's a big deal. And I think the guys up front on defense, I think they're going to make a way to still get pressure on some quarterbacks. But losing Kyle Pitts is going to be pretty interesting. I know somebody said, I was talking to on Twitter and in the comment section, somebody else said it as well. They're going to wait and see how this offense looks next week, because the thing about it, Coach Arthur Smith, as bland as we may think the passing game is, he do draw up some unique plays. He do draw up some things that is fairly unique, that actually works. And, at the end of the day, I can't really knock it because it works. You're only a few plays away of being over 500. You're a few plays away of actually being, above the division, actually dominating this division, actually. You're like 2 or 3 plays away. So this team itself is a pretty decent team. We're just talking about some mistakes. But that's not necessarily on the coach per se. The coach is putting everybody in position to be successful. And it's up to the players to do so. Terry Fontenot is making sure that they get the right personnel to be successful. Can't knock him for that. Can't knock anyone for that, really. Now, I still believe in my heart that they need to do something with Mariota and get better play. I do believe that. But I don't know how that's going to play out at the end of the day, because he loves Mariota and he's sticking with him. And after yesterday's, well, I ain't going to say yesterday, but after Sunday's win, it shut a lot of people up for now. But you still can't be throwing for 130, 140. We got to start throwing for 250, 260, 270. We're going to have to. But nevertheless, I don't have anything else to say about that. I feel like the way this team has been set up, the way they did this, they exceeded expectations. They did a pretty good job. I am very, very, very impressed with them. Before I get out of here, I want to let you guys know about BetUS. Click the link down in the description if you want to click that link. Put in $100, get 125% sports back bonus. You guys have been looking at it. I know you guys have been thinking about it. Go ahead and put some of that down. Put some wages on some of these games, some of these players, some of these quarters of football games, some of these quarters of basketball games. Put down your wages on basketball, football, MMA, esports, World Cup, everything under that umbrella. You can bet on almost anything over there and anything over there. Put some money down over there right now. Put that 125 sportsbook bonus to the test and win some money with these wages. It's a lot of stuff to bet on, and there's easy money on some of these cases. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, hit the share button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm on YouTube and Rumble, Anchor, Stitch, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Episode 482. Gave you a small, brief instance of why I think that the Falcons exceeded, the front office exceeded expectations. I think these guys are doing a good job. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching and listening. You guys take it easy. You guys take care. Peace.